All right, and welcome to another week around the trash fire with your host Matthias, with the boy.
John.
Another week, another holiday week.
Indeed.
How was your holiday?
It was chill. Not too much hobbying, but it's chill, seeing family and relaxing. All that
Yeah,
good stuff.
you got the hobby.
A little bit.
Envious. I didn't get to do too much, but
Oh dang. It's okay.
exactly, it's a holiday. Supposed to be spending time with family, John. Not your plastic family.
I know, right? It's okay. I brought it over when I hung out with my family, building models.
Very good, very good. Well, let's get into the news, shall we? And the first thing we're gonna talk about is we got some more Chaos Gate news. I don't know if you've been following this game at all or not.
A little bit. I mean, I'm probably gonna pick it up because it looks pretty quality as far as 40K games go. So
You know, what was that game called? Mechanicus?
yeah,
That game obviously looked like a phone game, a mobile game. And that game actually turned out pretty well. And I'm giving the same quality here, except I think the graphics here are a little bit better.
hmm I
I
mean, I think we
just
just. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wished, they'd make a RTS of this game. Bring back Dawn of War 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I was gonna say is like I think we should just stop expecting Dawn of War 4, but it doesn't mean it won't happen, right? But I think it's more, these days it's the exception. Stuff like Total War, that's the exception to the 40K games because they're mostly crap. So if you have a half decent one, like Mechanicus or Battle Sectors, have heard really good things about the game, or Cascade, then it's like, hey, that's cool. Speaking of Battle Sector, that game is actually I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm watching videos of that game. It looks pretty fun. I just wish there were more factions because right now it's just Blood Angels and Tyranids.
Well, you just gotta
Uh,
support the game, and, they'll probably add DLC like they do with Gladius.
yeah, maybe I'll just buy it to support it and eventually just get the DLC. I think if it had a third faction or even better fourth faction, I would have picked it up just because I like faction variety in 40K in terms of gameplay. Hobbying not as much, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
well, no, the reason I'm spotlighting this trailer in particular is because they dropped some pretty big news in this one. Not only did we get to see what the new gameplay and how everything works in this game,
mhm.
uh, they dropped the Primarch on us.
Yeah,
Has there been a Primarch in any games
no,
that's not a
it's
that's
not
not
a
a
mod.
phone?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big news. I didn't expect to see Morty in this game, honestly,
Right. I mean,
because I just you would think they would never be able to do Primarchs right,
yeah.
given their
But
godlike abilities.
the Grey Knights did beat him at one point, and I mean ADB is writing it, so it's not going to be lame.
True.
But yeah, that's pretty exciting. Wait, where's Morty? Trying to Is
He's
he
trying to
towards the
find
end?
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's near the end.
Okay.
I haven't gotten there. I haven't gotten there yet in the video, but I thought that was interesting thing that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, why not, right?
Morty getting taken down by a squad of Grey Knights. Seems a little bit unrealistic.
It happened in the lore.
True, but the more and more they release of this game, the more and more I'm liking. Don't
Yeah.
play any of these factions in the game. Totally despise the Death Knight or not Death Knight, Death
Grey Knight
Guard,
or Death Guard.
because I fight them all the time.
Death Guard.
But yeah, I'm liking the presentation of this game, even if it is just pre-alpha footage. But I think,
Yeah, no, I'm excited for sure. Not super hyped, but definitely more than lukewarm.
yeah, I don't think I'd ever be like in the hype factor, but I think it is cool.
Yeah.
seeing what they're doing and what they're adding in it. Let me just skip over to Morty here because getting to the end of this conversation. There he is, Morty.
What's the timestamp?
Like 4:30.
Oh,
Get his back. But yeah,
yeah, that's super cool.
I'm looking forward to it. Can't say that too much about 40k games. I mean, the only one I'm really hyped for right now is, Dark Tide, but that got delayed. Like
Indeed.
every like every
But it's
video game.
almost 2022, so
I know, right? 1 month away. But that is that in terms of video game news. Now, I'm sure you've heard about this. Some funny news here. The Squig, the Christmas Squig,
yeah.
is apparently a dangerous toy. So, good news is, you can totally refund this, or you can destroy it to get a refund, but you gotta take a picture and show proof.
Or you could keep it and resell it. Because usually toys, I actually didn't know this until this whole well, not even controversy, this whole debacle, but people are saying, yeah, this happens all the time for, plush toys, and if you should just keep yours and resell it because it's a collector's item now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Wave 1 Squig. So,
Yeah, apparently the puffballs are a choking hazard, which obviously they would be, but are they not stitched on well enough?
I guess not. I think from what I've heard or read, it's part of UK safety laws where if it can't resist X amount of force, it's considered a danger to children, so must be recalled.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just for people who are joking, who are like, "Oh, but the miniatures are hard plastic and can kill you if you eat them." Well, yeah, but they're not sold as toys. This thing is actually sold as a toy, so it makes sense why it would follow toy rules.
Right. I just find it funny that, one of the ways to get a refund is to cut off the tail and then send a picture
Yeah.
in proving that you destroyed it if you didn't want to return it to the store.
Yeah, if you want free money, that is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of a weird thing to do. But I guess it makes sense, right? Cuz not every place has a local GW to go to.
Right.
But
But I'm telling you guys, if you don't want your squig, just resell it.
resell it. Things going to go up in price, skyrocket as a dangerous toy that GW sold.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny that, we clowned on this plushie and this happens to it.
Right.
We
Is
were
it damn?
not fans, and now it's a dangerous toy. And I think that's it, really. It's nothing really too much to talk about other than,
Yeah, it was just kind of funny that happened. And once again, proof that GW is not a toy company because they wouldn't do anything like this. This is just too silly for that.
yeah, well, a failed business venture. Maybe they'll learn and do something else.
Yeah.
But moving on, model news here. We got the Battle Forces. This Sunday's preview, obviously. I don't think we're going to spend too much time on this because we've already gone over all the battle boxes, our thoughts. I assume these are $200?
I believe they're $200.
$200.
Obviously they're all savings. Although interestingly, the Mechanicus one is delayed until next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They sneakily put on the article at the Mechanicus section. It says delayed till next year. Shipping issues worldwide. For every minigame, Battletech's hard to find. Yoda once again delayed to March, which is just ridiculous. I'm never getting Yoda in Star Wars Legion. I'm quitting and playing droids instead of instead of clones now. I was actually looking forward to running a Yoda list, but I guess not. I guess not.
There's always next time. There's
Always
always
next.
till March
Yep.
when he gets delayed
April.
again.
Indeed.
Age of Sigmar stuff we went over all last week. Don't need to talk too much about this. Middle Earth got the Rohan Stronghold.
Yeah, this is cool if you like terrain like this.
They've had this before, right? Or am I just
No,
thinking
they
of
just they
clever?
just previewed it.
Huh?
So I think we've talked about this as a preview, but it's never been sold.
Okay.
So
Maybe my local GW just had a pretty good set when they used to
Mm.
have these buildings. Because I could have sworn they sold this stuff before. You know, that was like
long,
2010, 2011.
super long time ago.
Yeah. Back when it was in the mall.
Oh yeah.
And then we got this, which I know they showcased a long time ago.
The Amon Hen resin terrain piece.
Is it resin? Oh my
Yeah, it's
god.
really good. I think it is. Could be wrong.
They never do terrain
Wait,
in
forever.
resin though.
What's up?
They never do terrain in resin though.
They did one. There was one Lord. Well, actually, no. There's the Necron Tomb World from Forge World, and
It,
there's some. I think there's a space the 30K bunker, also resin.
huh. Well, that's Forge World, so that's kind of expected. Is
Oh
this
yeah,
Forge World as well?
I believe this is Forge World.
Oh. Well, it makes sense, but still doesn't because I don't think my experience is pretty rare for them to do resin
Yeah,
terrain.
it rarely happens. I mean, this one is an ultra specific terrain piece. You know, this isn't just generic ruins. It's a set piece from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to. It's essentially a special character terrain piece, right? It's a
Right.
famous location, so it would make sense that Forge World would do it because it's not something you can easily sell. Because again, it's you'll ideally only need one of this for the people who want it.
True.
I'm sure they'll sell like 5 of them at least. So
Yeah, at least 5.
maybe 10, no
Maybe
more than
they'll
that.
sell one and one guy will just scan it and 3D print it for everyone else.
There you go.
Horus Heresy, we got the Horus Captain coming in.
Oh, I'm picking this up for sure. Such a cool model.
It is a nice model. And then Warhammer Plus, we got well, what do we have here? I guess the last episode and not the
Yeah,
last episode. Is it the last episode?
I think it's the last episode of Angels of Death. Am I wrong? But people are saying it's finished from comments I read. They could be wrong, but it seems like it's finished. I'm not sure.
Well, there you go. So it's the final episode, which means uh we're gonna be getting more stuff. Well, at least another episode of what am I saying? We're gonna get another show, not an episode.
Yes.
Gonna get another show coming up soon, which they did release some details on, which is the Black Templars, Altar of Wrath.
This looks super cool, especially because we're doing Black Templars. So this is actually kind of hype for me.
Yeah, I'm excited. Anything for the Space Crusade.
Yes.
So I mean, they didn't really give any information or anything. No, I don't think
No
they gave a
trailer.
release date either. They just kind of just showed off the models.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be dealing with if I had to guess what they're going to be showing on Warhammer Plus, I would assume re-edits of Astartes, because they already released one episode of Astartes, right?
Yeah.
So probably re-uploads of Astartes with different music, and just more Hammer and Bolter whenever they get that done.
Mm.
And Astartes will probably satisfy us till this show is up and ready to go. Is my guess. Again, we don't have any information on when this show will be released as of
Right.
yet. But it looks sick. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool to know it exists, and I think that's exciting to me.
Well, we also, get to see what the Marines look like, what style of animation they're going with.
Actually, that's true. Because this isn't stylistic in the way Angels of Death is.
Hmm.
It's actually full color from what I see. So it'll be cool to see like their first full OG animation
Oh,
with that
not
games.
full. Not. I mean, it's not their first full OG, but you know,
Right, right, right.
they just went the route of different styles. So.
Yeah.
And it looks nice. But again, these are only just screenshots, so it's easy to make a screenshot look beautiful.
Right.
We'll need to see the actual animation in motion and the voice acting, if there's voice acting. But I'm excited. You,
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. It's Black Templars, so
of course. Everyone has the Black Templar hype because they're the Space Marines of Space Marines.
indeed. Space Knights.
Um, let's see. What do I have next? I think the Custodians. So, did you take a look at the new Custodian stances that they're getting?
I did.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
It's just
You think it's a cool mechanic for them, or
I don't know. I just feel it's just more rules bloat, in my honest opinion. It's just another layer of things to remember. I mean, to be fair, it's Custodes. This is an army where you barely have any models, you barely have any units on the table. So adding more, this is if there's any army that you want to add layers of rules on, it's this army. But it's not particularly exciting to me. Sounds kind of confusing. Um,
well, I agree that it's a rules bloat, but unfortunately, you gotta put bloat into an army that to make them unique and stand out. Because you
right,
can't just have an army that's just three up to hit, three up to wound, whatever nonsense, right? If they're just that, then it's just like play a generic Space Marine army. Play Kings of War where everything's just the same with slight
right,
modifications.
right. It's the eternal game design question of how much is too much.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'm also not as excited or as happy. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell if this. I mean, it's free rules, right? You don't pay points for this. I'm sure their points will reflect this the new rules though. But I just don't. I don't play Custodes enough to see how this is going to affect the army. Also, we don't have all of the rules of the stances.
True, we don't have everything. We know you get to pick three
Yeah,
stances.
I mean, there's the one where it's +1 attack, but your damage is 1, just so you could kill hordes.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one where they can't fall back.
That one's huge. That's a big one.
It's yeah, that's a big one. So I don't know. Hard to tell how without seeing the rest of the codex to see how this is going to affect the army as a whole.
I think they'll do just fine, especially if the rumor is they're getting another wound.
Right, right.
If that rumor is true, then damn.
There is the rumor that they're getting -1 invul as well, though. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh, boohoo. No 3-up invul save? I'm crying.
I know, right? Well, but now your normal dudes have a 5-up invul.
Hmm, I guess. But I mean, you still gotta shoot through, like, what are they, 4 wounds base right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, absolutely.
So if they're getting the +1, they're 5 wounds. I mean, you're dealing with a bunch of grotesques right there, pretty much,
Right,
who hit harder and survive a lot more.
right, right, right.
But we're not really gonna know anything because their book got delayed anyways. So the only rules we're gonna have is whatever's in the Shadow Throne book, and those usually don't have those usually don't have specific rules, just whatever's in the
Right.
box.
Just pretty generic stuff.
But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I think it's good. I agree. I've already said like rules bloat is bad, but it's always good to give your army an identity. And the stances could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We
Right.
won't know until it's actually in play, because only the quote unquote pros get to try out these armies before they're released. So we don't masses don't really know anything about it.
Although the masses are the ones that break it, which is funny,
Well, of course we
of course. It's
as
our job.
a as us Americans like to do, we always like to break the game because we're super competitive.
Yep.
It always just seems to be the Americans, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think Americans have a more, as a whole, I'm not saying there is no UK competitive scene, but I kind of feel that American wargaming is more competitive. If you look at most American war games, they're competitively designed, or sorry, competitive play is designed is primarily the focus. If you look at Star Wars Legion, you look at War Machine, you look at X-Wing, very little narrative support compared to the competitive support those games get. And all those are all American design games. Even well, Infinities is Spanish, but so I want to use that as an example. But yeah, War Machine, X-Wing, Legion, what else? Yeah, those are the ones that come to mind that are competitively. Again, they're designed for competitive play, and they are American war games. And
Yeah,
yeah,
but I feel like I know narrative doesn't get too much support, but when you go into a hobby store, or I mean not sorry, a game store, usually you're gonna be fighting people with more competitive lists than narrative style lists, because not many people get into the hobby just because of the lore, right? A lot of people who play the game usually want to win and stuff, right? There's some
yeah,
people out there obviously who have themed armies, fluff stuff, and there is a crowd out there, but when compared to the competitive scene, that crowd's a lot smaller.
yes, in the US, but in the UK, because the UK has a more of a gaming club culture. So in the UK, it's very rare to have pickup stores. It's usually you have a gaming club, and it's invite only, or you get paid to get in. And so people are more, they could kind of dictate more what the how the hobby is done, how the gameplay is, and therefore you see more narrative, like campaign driven, not as like pickup game tournament style games or gaming culture in the UK.
Right.
But the US, where it's more game store centric, where it's, yeah, like you said, it's a lot of meeting a random person at the store and then playing, throwing down. Usually people would want to win.
Mm.
So yeah, absolutely agree there.
But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see sometime next year in January and see if the custodians do well at all. But moving on to New Model Monday, we got Necromunda, surprisingly. I mean, we also got Blood Bowl, but I didn't include that.
Yeah.
So we got two random models here. We got a butcher looking fella here. Uh, Definitely an interesting model, to say the least. Definitely fits the Necromunda vibe.
I'm just random guy.
Just some
No.
random guy out there cooking, I don't know, some alien slug thing.
Yeah.
I could see that. It fits
Yeah,
fine.
it totally fits. It's kind of cool to see more civilian quote unquote models. These aren't frontline soldiers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do find that interesting about this release for Necro. Same for the other guy, the Resident Evil dude. I've
I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking.
never played that game, but that is exactly what I'm thinking of. I've seen too many memes.
You just gotta give him the the hood and the bandana on his face, and perfect representation right there.
There you go. But yeah, like he doesn't like he's selling weapons, but he's not someone you would want
in the front lines.
charging in the Goliaths, right, or fighting the Vansar.
Right. These are both interesting models. I'm not complaining. I
They're
think
probably gonna be
these little
Forge World.
models are great. What'd you say?
I said they're probably gonna be Forge World, considering Forge World does if it's like a random Necro model, like a single guy that's not part of really a faction, it's probably Forge World. Usually, a lot of the other hangers on, what they're called, which are the support units for your gang that aren't really aligned with any gang, they're Forge World.
I just assume anything specialist game is always Forge World.
Yeah, unless it's a squad of especially Necro and Blood Bowl, typically those are plastic. But yeah, single models, most of 9 times out of 10 they are resin for specialist games.
Yeah, that's the sad part, but I mean, what can you do about it, really? They got their claws into that, and I don't think we're ever gonna say goodbye to Forge World anytime soon, especially whenever Old World's supposed to be released.
Oh yeah, that's true. That game exists.
It exists out there, just not officially yet.
Right.
But cool to see. I like it. And then moving on to the rumor engine of last Tuesday, I think is when they do rumor engines.
Eldar.
And I brought this because we got some Eldar swords.
People are saying it's Lumineth, not Eldar.
How can you not know it's Eldar? I mean, that's a soul stone right there.
Soulstone. Lumineth do not have soul stones.
So I bring this up because we don't usually do rumor engine because a supposed leak of the Craft World Codex was out there. Unfortunately, the link I provided you deleted itself, so
Yeah, I saw.
you can't see too much of it. Did you see the original post?
No, I did not.
Well, I can go off some memory that I have of it. So, if you don't mind me spouting all this stuff, viewers, take this with a grain of salt because we don't know how much of this is true. Though it should be expected that a lot of stuff is going to be reworked. So from what I remember, Guardians, Rangers, Shining Spears are getting new models. Avatar's getting a new model. Definitely gonna be bigger. So probably what? What would you assume?
Which one?
Avatar, how big do you think he'd be? Like the
What?
new Demon Print or Slanesh?
$160.
Huh?
$160 model big.
Well, I figured.
Yeah.
But I mean, scale wise, you think it's gonna be like the Slanesh Demon
Yeah,
twins?
yeah. No, the greater demons, whatever greater demon size, like you keeper of secrets, that size, it's gonna be ginormous.
Okay.
Knight sized even. Say that.
You think it's gonna have an exotic base?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. Uh, one that surprised me was the Viper was getting redone as well. I'm not sure why. I think the Viper's an okay model. Um, what else we got here? We're getting a Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. Currently not
That
a Phoenix Lord.
that's interesting. That might be stretching it, but I could see that. I mean, again, Gilliman and Mortarion have models, so a Warp Spider Phoenix Lord isn't too far fetched, to be quite honest. I could totally see that happening.
All I think. Well, he didn't mention all the Phoenix Lords, but Asserman, Carandaris are definitely getting new models. He didn't mention anything about Fugan or the one that starts with an M.
Morgan Raw.
Morgan Raw, thank you. Didn't mention those two. Swooping Hawks aren't changing, which is fine. I don't really care too much. Uh, Trying to remember anything else. Obviously, Banshees aren't changing.
because they're new.
They're new. Scorpions are getting a little bit of an update.
Which
And
one? Sorry, say that again.
Scorpions getting an update.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of all I can remember. I don't think any. And then we're getting another new HQ choice as well. But that could have just been the new Phoenix
Right.
Lord.
I mean, for me, the one thing that the stuff that needs to happen, Avatar needs to happen for sure. Whatever it is, if it's just Guardians and Dire Avengers and nothing else, there has to be an Avatar along with that. I think we definitely need new Guardians and or Dire Avengers. So we need an updated troop choice, kind of like how Orc Boys and Necron Warriors were updated. Definitely that needs to happen. I would say we'd need at least another one aspect warrior squad redone and their Phoenix Lord, kind of like how like Banshees and Janes are were redone. I think that's the minimum. And then another plastic Autark would be cool. We don't have a plastic Autark. So I think that would be the minimum in my opinion for Eldar that they need to do. Ideally they would do 3 or 4 aspect warrior squad. Just match the orc release. They did a lot with orcs. They did a lot with Necrons. And I don't see them not doing that. I don't for sure they're not going to release just one HQ. I think they're going to go ham with Eldar because they need to. Eldar right now are after Orcs and Necrons were fixed. Eldar have the most dated kits. Yeah, Tyranids have some old units, but Tyranids also have some really new units. I mean, yeah, so do Eldar. Eldar have the new wraiths, but if you look at Tyranids, what's ancient? Hormagaunts, Termagants, Gene Stealers. That's kind of it. Everything else is pretty modern.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors are very modern, but if you look at Eldar, all aspect warriors except for banshees are ancient. Guardians are ancient. The Avatar is ancient. Pretty much everything that's not a wraith. I mean, Wind Riders are new, so Wind Riders, wraiths, pretty ancient. I mean, you got the new flyers as well. I don't see the vehicles being redone. I think Games Workshop has not really redone vehicles for a lot of factions.
I think I think the vehicles are solid.
Yeah, they work.
I think the only one that's maybe could use a little bit of a redesign is the Wave Serpent, but they just need to fix the kit a little bit.
Yeah, because it's hard to really imagine an HD Wave Serpent. You mean if you look at the Rhino, the current HD Rhino is the Sisters of Battle Rhino, but even then, that's more of a Sisters aesthetic that they added more of a Sisters aesthetic rather than just update the Rhino itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. The Eldar vehicles, they work. Not really, don't have to do much to make them look modern. It's the infantry that really need that rework because of how they look. They just look like trash
I
compared
agree.
to the rest of the range right now.
Well, I mean, we can expect the Guardians to go up in price because they're
Make
probably gonna finally combine the Guardians with the Storm Guardians.
Yeah, I
I,
could definitely see that.
I don't know why they've never made that into a single kit, but I'm sure that's finally gonna happen.
Right. I could see an argument of them not doing that and doing a separate kind of like how assault intercessors and intercessors are different, but crusaders for Black Templars are multi-kit with weapon options, so I could definitely see them doing a story. I can see them going either way.
True.
I would prefer them being separate. That way they're cheaper. Because hypothetically, if I played Eldar, which I'm not, don't do it, John. You already did it once. If I want guardians, I wouldn't want storm guardian bits and vice versa. I would just get storm guardians if I wanted storm guardians. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want it because I know it'll drive the box up in price, but you really think they're gonna sell two kits? I don't think they do that.
I think because of intercessors and assault intercessors, I could see them doing that. But again, Crusader Squad is the counter to that, so I could either way. It's very possible. I would, but again, I would prefer them separate. But yeah, I don't think it's inevitable that they'll make it one kit. I think it's very possible that they'll do two kits. But here's the thing: if they do that, I could see them radically redesigning the armor of Storm Guardians. Maybe not radical. Maybe have some minor, subtle changes. For example, for Assault Intercessors, for your real listeners who don't know, they have side panel things on their hips. They're kind of extra armor plating, and their left gauntlet is different compared to intercessors. Now you could interchange the arms. You could. I've done that. I have mixed intercessors and assault intercessor kits and swapped arms and stuff. So you have running intercessors with guns or assault intercessors that have a more stable stance using the intercessor bodies, for example. But
Mhm.
if they're gonna do two kits, I would expect a redesign of the armor. Maybe having some plates here and there, maybe different helmets. I believe Storm Guardians have plumes anyway, so I would see I could see that. However, if it's a single multi kit, then it's just weapon arm swaps. Nothing fancy, I would say.
Mm.
Hopefully, nothing fancy.
Well, reading through all these comments, I do remember one other thing about the avatar being changed as well. Apparently, going to have multi weapon options
That
instead of
would be
his Wailing
him.
Doom.
The Wailing Doom could be. I think in the lore, it's a weapon. It's not necessarily a sword. So you could
Yeah.
have like a Wailing Doom spear, like the Forge World model. You could have a Wailing Doom sword. That would be cool. I would like that. And knowing how Games Workshop does big models now, there's very few big kits these days that don't have options. Even Be'lakor has arm. You could repose his arms.
Hmm.
I think Teclis has a face swap. I could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't say face swap. Nagash has multi weapons.
True.
Archeon does it, but look at the newer kits. So you have Be'lakor, the Keeper of Secrets is all the greater demons are multi kits with multiple weapons or heads and all that. So yeah, that's very possible.
Oh yeah, that's good. I forgot to mention also. It's good that the comments are still here. Uh, Dire Avengers and Warp Spiders are also getting new model kits. I don't think
Yeah,
I
if it's
mentioned
them
those.
striking scorpions and banshees, that would be great. I would love Dark Reapers getting models, but
They got
fine.
updated when? Fifth or sixth
Late.
edition?
I was like fourth. It was fourth. Could
No, it
be
wasn't fourth edition
I was
because I have those models.
it's fourth or fifth where they got the current models. And it wasn't sixth. That's way too late. I think it was fifth then.
Yeah, it had to be fifth
Yeah.
edition. God, fifth edition. So we've already gone what every
Right.
4 years. So it's got to be at least 10 plus years, right?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I will say that whenever this release is, prepare your prepare your bodies, friends, because the Eldar OPness will return.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You think they brought back Matt Ward?
No, no, it's Phil Kelly. Phil Kelly does that. He
What
loves
if that's
Eldar.
just a pseudonym?
No man, I have seen them in the same room in a picture, but it's not Matt Ward. It's Phil Kelly. Demons. Matt Ward would make demons OP. It's funny because Matt Ward's Space Marines weren't that OP. His demons were disgustingly just destroyed the Warhammer Fantasy meta when they came out.
The man just likes power fantasy. That's all. Come on, you can't fault him for that.
Yeah, but Phil Kelly, friends, he's still in Games Workshop. He still loves Eldar. I'm pretty sure he wrote the Dark Eldar Codex. I could be wrong, but if he writes a new Eldar, oh boy. Or if anyone, it's tradition at this point. If high elves of the fantasy and sci-fi variety are always overpowered.
I just hope my craft worlds, or sorry, my aspect warriors are viable. That's
Oh,
all I want.
they're gonna be OP. They're gonna break the game, and you're gonna be glad you have them. You're gonna be glad you have the metal models because then you could say that you were OG and not just a meta chaser because you
Oh,
got the ugly metal models.
bring out my old metal models with the crappy paint job because they were my
You know what you
first
should do?
army.
You should get the new units, and then by all your aspect, all your exarchs should be the old metal guys.
Made them the unit leaders.
Yeah, just do that.
Completely tiny compared to the new models.
Hmm.
That's all I want. G-Dub, that's all I want. If they're good, I'll go back to Craft World. I
They're
don't
gonna.
like I don't like spamming psychic powers and nonsense. I know that's weird coming from a Thousand Suns player, but it's not what I liked about my Eldar.
Oh yeah, I would love for aspect warriors to be. I kind of feel they're faction defining aspect warriors. I mean, they embody the whole Eldar trope of hyper specialized, the literal opposite of jack of all trades.
Yeah,
You know, it's really good at something, and that's all they're good at. So and aspect warriors are literally that, and I hope and they embody that really well. So I hope that they're more than viable. I wouldn't be mad if they're OP.
I'll have to
Because
find a new Craft World though. Thanks, Yunari.
2023 Hinari.
Well, according to this, the Yunari will be part of this book.
That makes sense. And they're kind of sweeping. I don't know why they're sweeping under the rug, but they're kind of just sweeping them under the rug.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with Yunari though, right? You can't really, unless you start producing units for them, you can't really dedicate a whole $40 book to them
Right,
because it's literally just 3 models.
right. Now I do I see them making Inari models? Probably before the sun explodes. I'm sure they'll be making Inari models units.
Well, if we were to go by the other rumor predictor that we have, Yunari was not on the list for 2022.
Yeah, so definitely not next year. They and in terms of factions in the back burner, I could definitely see them being the back burner. Way more. I mean, Eldar in itself need a rework. Way more. That's way more crucial than just more Yunari stuff. To be quite honest.
Well, let's be real here. Can the community really stomach a fifth Eldari army? Or fourth Eldari army?
I'd be fine with it because it's not Space Marines. I love Space Marines.
Yeah, but everyone hates elves. That's like the common theme everyone has.
It's because they're haters.
True. It's okay. I'm a hater for the fantasy elves.
Oh yeah, Lumineth. No, Umbraneth when they come out. You got to do them.
True.
Dark Elves.
But yeah, I think that is it in terms of the Eldar rumors. So overall, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna enjoy it and just do my models proud. I'm probably not gonna buy anything because I already got 3,000 points of this stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't need to buy any more. But
You're gonna get the Avatar though.
can they be my metal avatar?
No, it's way too small. You
It's
gotta get the new one. It's gotta be
I'll
10
use
times.
that avatar and I'll model for advantage. I'll be able to hide him behind buildings and stuff.
That's funny.
But yeah, I probably will pick up the avatar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a must. You gotta have
Avatar. Or you put your old one on his base or something.
the little what's that meme? Don't talk to me and my son again.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll have to find a bigger bottle for that big avatar.
If you get the new Avatar, I'll paint it for you. Unless you want to paint it.
Well, since you're offering, then I guess I gotta get it now. But I think that is it for GW news. I don't got really anything else. So we can just jump right into the hobby rant section.
Yeah.
Have you heard in the tournament scene about the Tyranids?
Yeah, they're doing really well, right?
They're not killing it, but for only having a supplement book, seem to be doing quite well out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear. Tyranids have been not very good for a while, so
Wow.
no
I mean, that's always the problem, right? It's always hard to find faction balance with so many factions out there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And definitely, 7th and 8th edition was very, very mean to horde slash combat armies out there.
Yeah, with Tyranids. Now,
Yeah,
Flying Hive Tyrants, that's a different story. But the rest of the army, yeah.
yeah, but once you lost that flying hive tyrant, it was pretty much over.
Yep. So you brought 6. But then again, that's your army, right?
That's your
Very,
army.
very one-dimensional kind of thing.
God, I still have horrible memories of the flyrants.
Oh yeah, those Flyrants. Could love those Flyrants.
But yeah, so Tyranids are doing quite well. Funny enough, one came in second place. Then the first one was Jukari. Interesting enough,
Nice.
which
No one's surprised.
well, yeah, no one's surprised. But what surprised me was what he ran,
Oh,
which
what did
was
you get?
just an all coven list.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It was homunculus covens, right?
Yep, that's all it was.
Cool.
So I guess I gotta rethink my strategy on Jukari and covens. But yeah, he swept that tournament. I don't remember which one it was, but he swept that tournament quite well.
That's awesome.
Grotesque. What else? Like 20, a unit of 20 racks. Bunch of I got I'm fading on the names here. Chronoses.
Hmm.
It was disgusting to say the
That's awesome.
least.
That's awesome.
But that was an interesting list. Trying to think of what else. That's pretty much all I got from the competitive scene. I don't know if you've heard anything.
Not really. I don't follow it as much, so nothing too crazy from me
I
that I've
usually
heard.
just get the highlights. I don't really follow too much into it.
Right.
I like to just do my own thing and try it out.
Right. Right. Right.
But I guess I'll start with my hobby. And we got a game in last week.
I saw. I was there
You were
for
there.
deployment and turn 1.
It was a fun game.
Hey, how'd it go?
I must say, Admech still really disgusting. Oh my god, that was so much shooting. It was it was gross. I see why they're still a top tier army.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those who don't know, we did a 2v2. It was Admech and Necrons versus Black Templar and Dark Angels. Uh, in the end, I mean, we swept them, but it was quite a battle. A lot of Black Templars dying out there, unfortunately.
It's okay. Crusade knows no bounds.
Hey, we never surrender. A lot of fail rolls though, on my part. Because Black Templar have a stratagem where 4+ you can hold the person in combat. Yeah, I failed that, and a
Oh no.
pretty important thing I failed. I lost I lost my characters because of that. It's quite unfortunate. But I think the final score was 85 Black Templar Dark Angels to 48
Oh, nice.
Admech
Okay.
Admech Necrons.
Okay. So we pulled the win at the end. Sizably so.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were able. I mean, we our stratagems were Bathe in Blood, which was a Black Templar. For those who don't know, select a character, select one of your characters, and they select one of their characters, and you gotta kill that character in combat. Well, you have to kill that character. 5 points for killing it, 5 points for killing it in combat, and another 5 for killing it with your champion. So we did that. Uh, he picked his Necron Lord on a skiff. I don't know what that thing's called. And I picked my Em's champion, of course. Em's champion got shot off the board, so rip 5 points there.
Oh no. Oh,
And that's because he was able to. I charged him into combat, and then he fled away, and I failed that roll to keep him in combat. But that's whatever. And then we picked one where to the last, which is pick 3 expensive units and hope that they survive, which was all the Dark Angels player stuff. So since he was full plasma, he just sit in the back line and made sure he didn't die.
no, there we go.
And I'm trying to remember what our last mission was, but I can't recall. Oh, it was assassination, which I think we maxed out on the last turn.
Nice.
So we were able to pull stuff through, but definitely lost a lot. Had it gone, I don't know, maybe one more round, could have been different. But it was fun. We did that. And then in terms of painting, I finished all my rubrics. Thank God. It's now just on to the 20 Terminators. And the 2 Dreadnoughts. And then I'll be done with this army. Well, at least for the LVO. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'm going to be gaming this week. I'm still waiting on a response from my group. But what about you? What have you been up to? I know it was a holiday and everything.
Yeah, working on some Black Templars. I'm almost done with my initiates. I'm just gonna finish the skin and they're kind of done. Oh, I gotta wash the weapons. Skin, basing, weapon wash, and then they're done.
Mm-hmm.
That's for my neophytes. So after that's 8 neophytes, and then I got 2 sword brethren, and I'm done with 2 full crusader squads. So that's gonna be pretty nice. Then probably gonna work on some night lords. Slowly going through those. For the inevitable heresy 2.0. No, not much gaming. Did some Black Friday shopping. I got Magna Guards and Spider Droids for my Star Wars Legion. I wasn't kidding when I said I gave up on clones and I'm moving to droids. So gonna gonna try to go to some tournaments. I think my hype is coming back for Star Wars Legion tournaments. Maybe we should get a game in so I could practice the mechanics again. But there's that. No, but yeah, no gaming.
Well, you don't have to game every week.
Right, right.
Well, that's cool. So, where's the tournament going to be held?
They're all over the place. They're Orange County. There's some in Pasadena, I think.
Of course, like Gameology and.
Yeah, I think Gameology. I don't think Odyssey has them. I think Gameology has them. I
Mm.
think. But yeah, so the it's funny the right now the Legion meta overall. Obviously, if you have a local meta, every unit's viable. But right now, it seems to be melee units and vehicles.
Really, melee, huh?
Yeah, SoCal Open was won by triple Wookiees and 2 air speeders. Just didn't play the objective, just went for tabling. And the guy he's a very good player, but he just kind of smashed everyone. You can't score objectives if you're dead. And actually, most of the top 8 in that tournament did no objective kill focused lists, and it really worked well for them.
So, you're going to have to refresh my memory because it's been a while since I played Star Wars Legion. Do you not score points every game or every turn, I mean?
You do. But if you're tabled by like turn 3, it doesn't matter because they'll just score. They'll just come back and scoring turns 4 to 6 or 4 to 5, something like that.
Now, if you table, do you just get full points
I don't think so.
for whatever turns are left?
Yes. Well, no, you have to. I think you have to physically play it out and try to get the score. I mean, typically people just for sportsmanship they just GG.
Right.
But if you still have time, you could still play the game out and try to max out all that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So right now, like for Empire, the big list is Vader and triple dewbacks, double dewbacks, and other stuff. or just Vader is just really good right now with the buffs that we talked about a few podcasts ago.
Right.
Rebels have Wookiees. Wookiees are amazing. Kind of sad that competitive for me because I play Rebels. The competitive Rebel meta is just start with 3 Wookiees and then go from there. Remember one of the competitive websites I read had an article on the new Han Solo. I was like, ooh, so it's exciting. You know, I get to because I wanted to play Han Solo because he got buffed, and it had a pretty good write up actually on what upgrades to do, what tactics to use, how to properly use his command cards. And at the end, when they were talking about list samples, it's like, all right, bam, Han Solo, triple Wookiees. I was like, damn it, triple Wookiees again.
Well, you better start getting those triple Wookiees out there then.
Nah, because I'm gonna do triple Magna. No, I'm gonna do. I was gonna do triple Magna Guard for droids, which are for the listeners who don't recall, or for the listeners who are boomers and watch the OT trilogy. Magna Guards are they're the General Grievous bodyguards with the purple stabs, electro stabs from episode 3. So I was gonna run 3 units of them, but I'm gonna stick with 2 and then Darth Maul because Darth Maul is super fun. So I'm gonna do 2 Magna Guards, 2 of the new spider droids. Still debating between flamethrowers and or the ion gun. I think that's gonna depend on the meta. If it's more vehicles or if people like infantry. But there's that, and then just Darth Maul lightsabering people.
Of
Clones got
course.
really hurt because they're still expensive. They don't share buffs as much, and right now a lot of the clone strategies are just leveraging Overwatch in the Legion's original Overwatch with Padme and Yoda. Well, Padme right now because Yoda is delayed. I think it's at the point now where a lot of the local tournaments are allowing Yoda proxies because it's just kind of ridiculous that you can't get Yoda. It's funny because actually a lot of the big Legion players are saying that yeah, just buy from Canada and get it shipped here because Canada has Yodas. UK has Yodas. A lot of the UK stores are shipping to the US just because there's no Yoda here. Or yeah,
So wait, you can buy this actual Yoda model, just not in America.
not in the United States. You go across the border to Canada, they have the little green man.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Is, is it because
so
of the, is it because of our harbor? Is that why we're not getting it?
yeah, I'm sure it's some harbor shipping issue that he was supposed to be out in September, I think. Yeah, September, and it's delayed till March. Ridiculous.
Interesting. I find that weird, because he's being delayed till March. I just thought that the model never came out. But
No,
now
yeah,
that you're telling me it's up in Canada and UK, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's kind of weird.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just under the impression it was never released yet.
No, it's even worse than that.
Oh,
Or Yoda. It's really good
well,
too.
yeah. There you go. You have it here. Just order it from Canada or UK.
Yep.
Down.
I might. Well, if I was interested enough in playing Yoda, I would have done that, but kind of not. So I'll just wait. I'll stick with my robots.
Hmm. At least you have an army that you're wanting to play.
Indeed.
All right then. Well, I think that's it. Uh, for those who asked for it, I am working on getting the podcast into Spotify. It's taking a lot more work than expected
Hmm.
because you can't just upload things to Spotify. You gotta go through another server kind of deal and get them to upload to Spotify for you. So I just gotta figure out how that works out. But hopefully next week I'll have it set up.
Awesomeness.
Yes, yes. But until then, thanks for everyone making it to the end, and we'll catch you next time.
That everyone.
Goodbye.